there's a lack and a shortage of water supplies generally. How about everything which is finding employment?
What they will do is they'll have some of them, not all of them, but some of them will have workers that are not part of the travelling community. They'll take, just say guys from Poland, Latvia, the ones that don't have the recourse to public funding, okay? And they'll take these guys and say, oh, we'll look after you, we'll do this, we'll do that. Give them a pile of flyers to come up to Aberdeen, post them through letterboxes, wait for the phone calls to come in, and then they come up to Aberdeen to do the work. Or they will just come up to Aberdeen anyway and knock on people's doors saying, your guttering needs doing, are you wanting a new driveway, are you wanting your grass cut? You know, they all do it their different ways.
So it's generally small unskilled jobs that
they're
doing?
Yes.
All right. And they just advertise themselves as offering services?
Yes.
But when you talked about you would have some employers just employing them just to distribute flyers, for example, is there such an issue as pay discrimination?
Yes. Sometimes, I mean, the workers, some of them who have workers will pay them the lowest amount ever. Because as far as they're concerned, we are giving you somewhere to sleep. I mean, they'll give them the filthiest caravans to sleep in. It's disgusting. We are giving you somewhere to sleep, and we are giving you money to live on. You are living here. You are living with us rent free, so we don't have to give you a big wage. And because these guys aren't getting any benefits or housing benefit or anything, any money they get is a huge bonus for them. And they will work for these travellers for as long as possible. Because they have, although it's a very small amount, they have got some sort of regular income coming in, and they've got a roof over their head.
But just let's be clear then, you were talking more about people from Poland or Latvia.
I'm just using that as an example.
But you said that it can be also gypsy travellers' family being settled and then employing other gypsy travellers. All right. Mm-hmm. So do you believe that there's a form of economic exploitation on that
Definitely.
side?
Definitely.
And are most of the gypsy travellers people, workers you've encountered, do they are they usually registered? Do they have a national insurance number in the UK? Do they have anything like that? How do you keep record of anything which is paid?
We don't. What they keep everything to themselves. That's a huge thing. What they make, they keep to themselves. We don't know how much these guys make, but you can tell by the cars they're driving and the caravans that they're living in, they're making good money. Definitely making good money.
When you have people coming to you and so talking about their needs again, whether it's on authorized sites or unauthorized sites, what are their expectations and wishes for more economic stability?
What do you mean?
Economic stability, I mean, basically it encompasses employment, so stable employment and financial resources that
they won't go into stable employment. Mm-hmm. They won't. They would prefer to be their own bosses and do their own thing. And whatever money they make is their own, rather than working for an employer and having to pay tax, national insurance, all of that. What they make, they keep.
So you're talking about self-employment.
Yes.
That's extremely interesting because that's where I wanted to go forward to. There are lots of studies on gypsy travelers communities actually acknowledging the fact that it has been a cultural habit of wanting to be self-employed, to have more possibilities to travel, to keep their nomadic lifestyle as well. So how often among all the families you've come across, could you give a roughly percentage of how many people are usually self-employed?
Legally or illegally?
Both.
I would possibly say, I'd say the majority of them were possibly illegally. They have the names splattered across the side of the van, and they have their work tops and their work jackets, but they won't be a legitimate company paying tax and national insurance. Do you know what I mean? And when they get paid by customers, it's usually by cash. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, there are a few of them. There are a few that, yes, they are 100% legitimate companies. But you find out that they're the ones that hardly get the work for some reason. I don't know how that works. But yeah, and you might not see the actual owner of the company. You'll maybe see him when he knocks on your door saying, do you want your driveway done? Yes, please. Okay, it's going to cost this amount of money. Then he'll get his workers to come in, do all the work, and then once the work's done, the owner will come back and say, right, I'll take my money, please. Okay, thanks very much. It's very seldom that you'll see the owner of the company actually doing the work.
And concerning that, what types of companies are you talking about?
Landscape companies, roofing companies, property maintenance, nothing that's too skilled. Do you know what I mean? Basic gardener work. Do you know what I mean? Things that you can get somebody to do for next to nothing.
All right, but what do you mean by landscape companies?
Landscape, they'll do like your gardens, they'll cut your grass, they'll tidy up the bushes or the trees, replant plants, flowers, things like that.
All right. So you're talking about unskilled jobs, but behind that, isn't there a form of? Do you believe that there is a form of business skills as well?
They've been doing it for years, so there must be. Do you know what I mean? These guys have been doing it for years, and their fathers before them, and their fathers before them. So boys stop going to school. So in fact, some boys don't go to school at all. So they grew up watching their fathers working, and then they'll carry it on, and then their kids will carry it on as well. So there is some business, there would have to be some kind of business sense to be able to carry on and do what they're doing. But you have got the ones that will rip off people and say, oh, this job's going to cost £500. And then once the job's done, oh, well, you see, but we had to do this and we had to do that and we had to do the other. So it's actually going to cost you £2,000 now. And if you've got 4 or 5 male travellers standing at your doorstep because you're not giving them the money, you will give them the money. Because there will be a comeuppance afterwards. I'm making them sound really bad, and they're not, because they're lovely people. But you do get the bad ones that give the rest of them a bad name. Do you know what I mean? But there are genuine travellers out there that are, legal